If you're anything like me, then by now you've quit your government job and you find yourself squatting in an abandoned house.
While squatting in houses obviously have its upside, there's a lot of downsides. Like, what are you going to do if someone shows up and tries to sell the house? I skirted around this little issue by constantly dressing up like a mailman.
I find that impersonating a federal employee such as a mailman allows you a quick getaway. If a real estate agent shows up trying to sell the house, I can simply slip out the back door, pretend I was just delivering mail, and be on my way. This is a time of year where you'll begin to observe a change in color in the coats of the white-tailed deer. As you can see, the fur will get darker and noticeably thicker in preparation for the winter. Any day now the leaves will begin to change color and start falling off the trees. This is a good time of year to go look for Sasquatch, as the visibility is greatly increased when you're in the woods, which allows for better video capturing. Today's investigation is going to end up taking me to Delaware Water Gap, and I'm going to follow the waterway along the Delaware River, essentially to get there. As you can see, along this waterway is a home to a plethora of wildlife, a myriad of birds and mammals alike, all coexisting around this water source. The Delaware River can actually be very dangerous at any given time of year. It's known to have very strong undercurrents. As you can see, it's pretty vast, wide across, and stretches God knows fucking where. If you look on a map, you can tell that all along the Delaware River there are isolated islands of varying sizes and shapes. It's well known that black bears tend to swim over from the other side of the river, which is actually New Jersey, because of the catch and release program, which allows for all the black bears to be essentially set loose in New Jersey. It's harvest time, so food sources now are abundant in nature. Anything a Sasquatch might want to eat is at his disposal at any given time. To me, the theory of Sasquatch is a lot like the American dream. I'm not sure if it exists, but I'm gonna chase it anyway. And for a lonely swineherd like myself, the idea that I can conjure something out of nothing seems like magic. But you don't need magic to catch a Sasquatch. In fact, a few solid wood knocks may just suffice. Most importantly, you need to keep your eyes and your ears open and learn to read the signs and language of nature. This is a time of year where the days begin to get shorter and the nights begin to get longer. Some say that it's a time of year when the plane of the living intersects with the plane of the dead, and ghosts of the past rise to haunt the earth. Cricket is carving in a traditional jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in order to ward off the evil spirits. I maintain my own traditions. The leaves really can change color overnight. Just like that, it feels like an autumn day. Cricket and I start our day trying out some Halloween costumes. I mean, it's not as if every day I dress up in a costume with my pig. As the leaves gently fall off the trees, I prepare myself for the expedition I'm about to take in Delaware Water Gap. It's going to be a day investigation, mostly just a hike, like I did in Wind Gap, up to the top where there's an overlook, to see what signs of Bigfoot I can possibly get. Mainly, I'm looking for more signs of broken trees, like the one I found earlier in the summer. As you can see, trees can be described as broken in a lot of scenarios. There's only that very specific type of broken tree that I'm looking for that would indicate that possibly it was done by a Sasquatch. Cricket's going to stay behind on this investigation. It's just going to be me on a solo hike up to the Appalachian Trail, Delaware Water Gap. The route to Delaware Water Gap is very scenic. It provides me with a great perspective of the surrounding area and gives you a good idea of what the terrain looks like all in and around this region. I arrived to my destination sometime in the late morning, and it's pretty warm for this time of year still. It's going to be a nice little hike, nice scenic hike up to the top of the overlook. At the very beginning of the trail, there's a decent-sized pond full of wildlife such as frogs and fish, which Bigfoot are rumored to have feed on. There's plenty of fresh water runoff in the form of creeks and streams which trickle down from the tops of the mountain, and the entire surrounding area is full of small little caves and crevices which even homeless hikers are known to occupy at certain times of year. There is so much natural beauty to take in all around me, and just this small distance it takes me to hike up to the top of the mountain. The trail ahead gets a little bit muddy and allows for me to observe some footprints. Really all I find is a dog footprint, I think. Somebody hiking up with their dog. As you get closer to the overlook, you can start to see the highway, which is just beyond the toll bridge that carries you into New Jersey. My zoom lens allows me to see all the way across to the other side of the mountaintop, which is more like a plateau. And it's really in circumstances like this that I have the best chance of catching any type of definitive video proof of a Bigfoot, if there is one in the area. Along the trail just at the top, there's another broken tree which serves as a marker. Another perfect example of what is not the type of tree a Bigfoot would break in half. This one appears to simply have been pushed over due to rot or natural decay. Once I'm at the top, I can really utilize my zoom lens to illustrate just how small a humanoid entity would look from this particular distance. It's almost invisible. If there was a Sasquatch lurking somewhere around here, there's a good chance that, unless I was completely zoomed in, I wouldn't see it at all. It's not until you're actually standing in a place like this with a vantage point such as the one that I have that you begin to realize just how vast an area like northeastern Pennsylvania can be. So much of it is covered in wooded area. Even in broad daylight, there could be a creature that's hiding. And it'd be hiding pretty easily. To the left, you can see that there's a very busy highway, but on the right, you may not even be able to notice there's just an abandoned railroad track. The steep slope and limited visibility that this area provides is a haven for Sasquatch who need to get water and want to go unseen doing it. They put their backs to areas like this because they know if they needed to make a quick getaway, they could literally sprint up the side of that mountain without any natural predators or people being able to follow them.
Okay, I'm up on the Appalachian Trail now in Delaware Water Gap. I'm actually in Pennsylvania, but that's New Jersey behind me. As you can see, there's a lot of terrain for Sasquatch to live and roam and pretty much travel without being noticed by anybody, although there have been sightings around here. I haven't seen any signs of any wildlife really today, but it seems like a good day. Sasquatch tends to be more active in the autumn, and I think I have a pretty good chance of finding one today. That's New Jersey behind me. I'm in Pennsylvania right now in Delaware Water Gap at the top of the Appalachian Trail. There's been a lot of sightings over the years around here, although I haven't seen any signs of Sasquatch yet today. But since they're most active in the autumn, I think that I have actually a pretty good chance of finding some type of sign today.
I'm very satisfied with today's investigation. I obviously didn't turn up any clues or any evidence of a Bigfoot being in the area, but I'm very hopeful about this location. I plan on returning there soon. While I strategize my next investigation, I spend my time setting out to craft a brand new wizard staff under the light of a full moon, so that I might possess and wield moon magic. The last bit of footage that I obtained for this episode is displaying what I believe to be an image of the 10th planet, Nibiru, appearing in the night sky. The implications can be daunting, and perhaps it's best if you just forget I said anything. Perhaps the Sasquatch is just like a werewolf, and it only appears during certain celestial occurrences. And it is, in fact, more supernatural than anything else. But at the end of the day, whatever you decide to believe, the truth of the matter is that nature is an absolute joy. So at some point, just make sure to get yourself out there